Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and I'm here today to recommend you 6 YA fantasy reads. Sorry for my voice, I lost on St. Patrick's Day and it still has not come back yet. First up is Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. This is the Alacrate edition. This is about a world where every new moon your nightmares come to life. And magicians are tasked with protecting the people of their towns, and they're very territorial about it. They have territory wardens, and that's your area, but other magicians can challenge you for your area. Clementine, our main character, and her father are in charge of their area, and 2 magicians come to challenge her dad for the territory. And this book is all about Clementine getting vengeance for that and trying to get their territory back, and she has to team up with a rival magician, and there's some sparks flying between them. This book is absolutely amazing. I love it. I hate that more people don't talk about it because it's just so good. It's so fast-paced. The nightmares are so creative. The magic is beautiful in this. I highly recommend it. Next up is Poison Study by Marie V. Snyder. This is a classic YA fantasy in my opinion. I think these are the Australian covers. I don't know how I managed to get those, but I love it. This is about Yelena, who lives in Ixia, and Ixia magic is completely banned. And Yelena is in prison, sentenced to death, unless she becomes the commander of Ixia's food taster. So she obviously takes up the food taster position. So she has the risk of being poisoned by assassins now, but she herself gets taught to be an assassin and taught about magic in secret. This series is amazing. The world building in this is so good. I honestly think I'm going to do a reread of this series soon because it's just been so long. There's also a spin-off trilogy they have to read in the middle of this series, and it's such an amazing world with such unique magic. So if you love that type of magic, unique magic where each person has a specialty, I highly suggest this book. Next we have Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan. I absolutely love this book. It's so good. This is about An and Atlan. If I'm mispronouncing those names, sorry. An was found as a kid, has no memory of her past, and she has magic. And in this world, magic is not okay. It's basically illegal. You will get hunted and killed if you have magic. So An has to keep her powers a secret, but she does get discovered. And Atlan, his entire family was murdered, and he wants his throne back, his birthright. So he enlists An's help to go get this back, and her magic is the key to them getting his throne back. And they form such an amazing bond throughout this book. It was so good, and there wasn't a sequel to this, and I really wanted more time in this world. So June C.L. Tan, please write a sequel. I highly suggest this book. It's Chinese inspired, I believe, but it's just so good. Please go read it. Next we have Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin, and this is about Ning, whose mother was poisoned by tea that she brewed, and so she blames herself. And her sister is also suffering from the same poisoning, but her sister is still holding on. So Ning hears about a competition at the palace, a tea brewing, and in this world, tea brewing is a magical experience. There's full-on magic involved. It can make you heal, it can make you hallucinate, it does a lot of things, make you see visions of the future, type stuff like that. And so she goes to try to win this tea brewing competition in order to get a favor from the princess and save her sister. This book, I remember reading this book for the first time and I was just blown away. First of all, the cover is gorgeous. I love the watercolor style of it. And it's the competition and the friends that she makes in the competition and the enemies she makes. It's all so interesting and woven together so beautifully. I highly recommend this. Here we have Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. This is one of my favorite trilogies ever. I love it. So this is about Theodosia. She goes by Theo. When she was young, her mother, the Fire Queen, was murdered before her eyes. And they decided to keep Theo as a prisoner and call her the Ash Princess, where in public she wears a crown made of ashes that is destroyed as the day goes on, and she's just covered in ash, and it is a great disgrace on her. So, and in this world, there's a lot of magic users. It's based on elements, and so for each element, they basically enslave them kind of and use them for their own benefit, or they repress their magic. And Theo wants her crown back. She wants to get rid of this dictatorship type rule, and she wants to free her people. And the entire trilogy is about her doing that. There's love in it, there's revenge in it, there's betrayal, and it's a wild ride. The end of book 2, it completely threw me for a loop. I was shocked. I threw my book across the room. This is an amazing, it has that like stereotypical trope of getting the crown back, but it's just done so well in such a cool world, and the cover is just really cool. I love it. This is also a signed copy, and I also have an art copy of it. Yeah, so highly suggest this. The last book I have to recommend to you guys today is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I'm sure a lot of people know what this is about. This is a very popular one. This is about Elizabeth, who wants to learn more about sorcery. And in this world, sorcery is these magical grimoires that when they're released, they turn into these giant demonic monsters. So it's very like library related, book related, which is one of the aspects of this that I absolutely adore. And so one of this library's oldest grimoires gets released, and she tries to save tries to capture it, but instead she ends up getting blamed for its release. And she has to turn to her rival, Nathaniel Thorne, to help her clear her name and get this monster back where he belongs, basically. It's an amazing standalone book. I love it. I think there's like a prequel novella that came out this year. This is also the Allegory edition, that's why it's purple. I just remember loving it so much. I loved how it was so heavily library related, and the magic in it was really cool, and Elizabeth grew so much as a person throughout the novel. I loved it. Go read it. Those are all the books that I have to recommend to you today. Come back again for another video. Subscribe, like this video. The next video I'm going to be doing will probably be an adult fantasy recommendations video, and I also want to do young adult sci-fi and adult sci-fi as well. So come back for more.